Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. As a lot of you may know, or many of you don't know, is I had you guys ask me questions on Instagram. And for those of you that cannot ask me questions as of now or don't follow me, you can follow me here on Instagram. And the biggest thing I wanted to do was be able to ask questions on Instagram, but then answer them here on YouTube for you. Because it's a lot easier for me to do this for you. And I haven't seen any of these questions. And I told my other coach and my assistant, Natalie, to also put them together for me. So you're going to hear her in this video asking me the questions. And this is going to be the first time that I hear the questions and how I respond and everything. And I cannot wait to do this. This will be fun. So if you did not get a chance to ask me questions or submit your questions, please follow that link below. You can follow me on Instagram and I will definitely do this again soon. All right, Natalie, shoot. So what's the first question?
All right, first question. How to handle a temperamental person?
Ooh, that's really good. Okay. So first things first is if you have someone that is temperamental, the first thing that comes to my mind is they might be narcissistic, they might be manipulative, or they have anger issues that they haven't been able to control. So the first thing that you don't want to do is become active in that playground with them, right? So one of the biggest things is what we do is we react because our emotions are hurt. Like we're feeling hurt, we're feeling angry. And what our heart and our body wants us to do is just react right away because we want to get that message across. But instead, it's one of the hardest things, I'm going to be honest, to do is you cannot react. You've got to breathe and just be compassionate. But also ask yourself, like, why are we involved with a temperamental person? Are they seeking help? So the questions I would have for you is like, is this person seeking help to change? If they're not, maybe you should reevaluate the situation and this relationship. And tip number 2 is you can't argue in regards to them, but also too, like you have to really find out the reason of like, what is the argument about, right? And once you do that, the only thing that you can do with someone that's either highly temperamental, manipulative, or narcissistic, whatever the case may be, is you have to repeat yourself over and over. And you're not going to win. I'm going to be honest with you, but you're just got to do it. So let's just say you're arguing about some specific topic and the only thing that you're trying to clarify at this point is like, I didn't mean it this way. I meant it that way. And they continue to give you rebuttals. You continue to say, I didn't mean it this way, so-and-so. I meant it that way, so-and-so. And you become a broken record. But you're really not going to win with a highly temperamented person, period. Next question.
All right. Space. How long does she need when she asks for space?
Oh, I like that. So I have a bunch of blogs in regards to that because it's a huge topic. I think I've created like 2 or 3 videos, which I'm going to put up here on the cards for you guys to watch. And also I'm going to put the link below in the description box to that blog because that blog is amazing. Now, typically, it depends on the situation, and that's why I say read that blog because I break down different types of scenarios for you. I always say to my guys, like, if a woman asks for space, to at least give her at least a 3-week minimum and let her initiate with you. So if a woman is asking for space, typically let her initiate with you. Now, it's different if you cheated on her, if you did something wrong and she's now asking for space. It's actually completely opposite. You have to find the balance, right? You're going to have to initiate. She's not going to reach out to you if you cheat on her. What you have to do is you can't over pursue though in this time. You can't force her to be with you. You have to be understanding, compassionate. But if she asks for space because you were needy, you've got to do completely opposite. You've got to do a 3-week no contact. You've got to work on that neediness. Honestly, the no contact is the best thing that you can do. But when no contact doesn't work is when you just do it because of the fact that you're not talking to that person. And then after the 3 weeks or the month, there's been no changes.
Your thoughts about a textationship and how to break the loop?
So a text relationship, that means. My thoughts is it happens all the time in this day and the day and age that we're living. And that's why I always say to you guys, like, texts have to mean business. And let me clarify what I mean. It doesn't mean that you don't say good morning, thinking about you, and you're just like, Friday, 8 o'clock. I've seen men do this and where they're like, then they don't talk to them for four days. And then they're like, Wednesday, 7 o'clock. And I'm like, no, this is not what you do. You've got to create like something like a good morning. You're on your lunch break. Hey, I was thinking about you. I had a great time last night, blah, blah, blah. Like give her something, but also let her move on with her life. You chime in and you chime out. And then when you chime in again, After a while, you plan some dates. So how to get out of it is literally by being upfront and honest and just saying, listen, I've been talking to you a lot by text message. I would love to get to know you and start to do this face to face and get to know you on that level, because my fingers are getting a little sore and I've lost a little bit of time in my work or my workout routine, and I got to get back in it before I see you. Like, make a joke about it so it's not so heavy. So that's what I would recommend to do, and not to start it at all, actually.
That's actually how a guy got me on a date.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was like, are we becoming pen pals now? I was like,
good.
oh. And I got it. Yeah. Okay, how do you attract a girl who is a friend, but you can't meet in person, you only chat?
How do you attract a girl that is not a friend?
That is a friend.
Oh, that is a friend?
Yeah.
But you meet in person and you only chat?
Yeah, you're not meeting in person and you're only chatting.
Oh, okay. Probably through social media, I would assume. Well, I have a product that's called the Friend Zone No More that will basically give you everything that you need to know. My how to text manual is in there. Everything is in there. But one of the biggest things in regards to that is, like, if you only chat, like, find a commonality between the both of you. And, like, let's just say she posts a picture of their family bowling, for instance. And you're like, oh, I love bowling. And then that's your in. Like, say, like, oh, like, I would love to go. I'm going bowling with some friends on Friday. Would you like to come along? Bring some of your friends and make it kind of casual as well. I would just suggest you find a commonality.
What can I do to make an ex want me back and want to message me and call me?
It depends on the reason for the breakup. So, honestly, to get anybody to want you back, ex, it doesn't even matter, friendship, whatever. You literally have to create the best life for yourself and show it off, like, with the intentions of good intentions that I need to be the best person for myself. So for the person that asked that question, I would always say, like, look at your life through a lens and see what areas in your life that you can get better at. Where can you develop? Is it personal development? Is it family? Is it school? Is it physically as well, right? Is it education? Is it your love life? Is it the community? There's so many different avenues of what I talk about, and that's where you can kind of take the lens and be like, where do I need to work on? And work on that right away. And one of the biggest things I always say is, like, if you're going through a bad moment, like, do something that scares you in your life. Like, because that's where you get that amount of, once you face a fear, there's something that happens to your body and your mind mentally that you start to think, like, this is not the worst thing that could ever happen. And you get on this high and you feel happy. So I would really encourage you to do something like that and test your limits.
The escalation post went up too, by the way. I'm at a point now where I don't want a partner. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's totally normal. I think everybody goes through that time. I mean, I went through that time, and I think it's a very healthy thing to do, because what someone tells me what it tells me is they're trying to focus on themselves. And that's, like, the best thing that you can do is focus on yourself in order for you to get love or have the relationship that you want. A lot of us come from trauma. A lot of us come from experiences in life. A lot of us come from bad relationships in life. And it's because as we go through life, there's no education in love and relationships. And that's why you're here on this channel. So thank you. But also, too, like, understand that we have to recreate our own existence around relationships and make sure that we can supply that to someone else. But the only way we can supply that to someone else is when we can supply it for ourselves. So I think that's a great thing.
What's it like being an empath?
Oh, because I posted about that in Empath. Like, I had to meditate, I had to journal, I had to find out my reason why. I had to live a happier life beyond that. But then also, too, like, the form of detaching helped me when I noticed that my message is what people need to hear. So what keeps me focused, and when I go into that story as of yesterday, was what keeps me driven is 99% of my clients are not like that. And if I stop now because of one person, I'm not helping 99% of the people that need to hear this message. So that's what gives me the opportunity to detach, because I found that happiness that will make me detach. Now, is it something that ever goes away? Heck no. I cry in the stupidest things. I cry on the housewives sometimes. I'm so empathic. Like, it's just crazy. But I've learned to own it and use it as something that's funny, something that is about, like, fun, something that is significant to me and something that's important to me, and also something that is of value to me, because I can show love in other ways as well.
Okay. Ooh. Can a man be in love with two women at the same time?
Ooh, let's see. Can a man be in love with two women at the same time? All right, so this is culturally too. I don't know. I think that, okay, I'm going to speak for Americans, okay? My views. This is just my view. I don't think that a man can be in love with two women at the same time. And let me give you a reason of why. Let's go into the reason that you are in love with the same woman at the same time. Okay, so here's the thing. Love is an emotion that we create, but it's not something that exists 110% of our lives, right? So you can be in a 10-year marriage and tomorrow really not love that person as much as you did in the first year. Because as humans, we evolve, and relationships are work. That's the thing, is like, you love someone because you evolve in your life and you create your own existence and oneness, but love is an emotion that we can also get confused with lust, right? And so that's why people cheat, and that's why people do that, is because they're trying to step out of their own reality. Typically people cheat because it's not anything to do with their partner. It's more to do with themselves. And it's because they're trying to get away and they're trying to escape their reality as well. And so there's a lot of lust involved, and a lot of people get lust and love confused. Love also, to understand that love is an emotion, but love is also an action. Like, it's a verb. Love is a verb. It's not something that just because someone's in your life and you're married to this person, you just fall in love and it's for like that forever. Love is action. Love takes work. It takes commitment. It takes realigning your relationship. If someone evolves and someone else doesn't evolve, you've got to come together somehow and work on that. And you might not be in love for a year and then fall back in love in that other year. That's what I mean, is like, I don't believe that people can be in love with two women. I don't believe that women can be in love with two men. What happens is when they choose, because love is a verb, remember, when they choose to be in love with two people, choose is because they seek love from this person because this person offers that emotional support. And that other person is giving them that sexual support typically. So that's why they say that they're in love with two people. But what they're doing is they're not understanding that that partner that they chose in the first place can offer what the other partner can offer typically if they just invest. And if not, they can't invest anymore and they have to move on. So I don't really think that you can fall in love with two people, because I do think that love is something you work on, and it's a verb. It's not, it's just not possible.
Why are some people just unlucky in love?
I think it's because of lack of education, the unwillingness to invest in themselves. There's somebody out there for everybody. And if you're unlucky in love, it's one number, and I'm going to be honest, it's one, because you're not educated in the right way of doing it. You haven't proven, you haven't come from the integrity and confidence that you deserve love sometimes, or you've been passive in your life as well. You haven't healed from probably trauma experiences and things like that. So nobody is unlucky in love. People that say that they're unlucky in love is because they've made the wrong decisions. They continue to date the same person over and over. And I had a coach once tell me this, and it stuck with me, is bad relationships come in our lives to teach us what our weaknesses are. And if you don't show up and heal your weaknesses, you're going to attract the same people in your life. Plain and simple. I mean, this is really what this channel is all about too. And I talk about that in so much of my videos.
How do I rid myself of the need for a relationship?
Find happiness in your own life. Like, period. Like, no one needs to be in a relationship. Like, you have to find happiness, because if you don't find happiness, then your need doesn't ever go away. I want to have it and it to enhance in my life, but if you need something, that shows me that there's attachment to a relationship, that fulfillment of a relationship will make you happy. Now, I'm not saying that companionship is not something that people seek, because, you know, you do get lonely, but also too, like, companionship is in all forms of friends and family and things like that. So you have to get to a level that you're okay with or without a relationship, and then that's when your happiness comes through. And I think that's when a relationship can enter your life as well.
Do you feel like a man should pay for everything in a relationship?
No, I don't think a man should pay for everything in a relationship. not at all. It depends on the woman too. So like if you are, it depends on every situation. Like for instance, I can only speak for myself. I work very, very hard and my partner works very, very hard. And we pay the bills together and we like to travel together and I give him money, he gives me money. I mean, it's like, I feel like more gratified because I'm able to give to him as well. So it helps me and it helps my relationship as well. But also too, like he does end up paying for more than me. Even if I was to make money, like the same amount, even if I was to make the same amount of money as him, like he would still pay more. Like he always pays more than I do, just naturally because of who he is. So I think that's what it comes down to too, but also too, like every relationship is different. And that's why I always say never compare your relationship to others because every relationship is different. And I think if you are wanting a family, but you want your wife to stay at home, that's a different topic. Like if she's not working and she's taking care of the kid, the kids are her job. So you are the provider. So you're dang straight that you will be paying for everything, like period. Because she's paying for the kids and she's basically doing all that and being a stay-at-home mom. But I think in dating and in the pursuing period and the first when you meet a girl, I do think on first dates, you do pay for a woman. If you asked a woman out on a date, then you do pay for her. If you don't have the money to take her out on a 5-star dinner, which you should never take a first date girl out on a 5-star dinner unless you know you really like her and you guys are hitting it off and this is what you can afford. But get a drink and get an appetizer, go get coffee. Like what is $10 going to break your bank? Then maybe if it does, you shouldn't be dating and really be finding something in your life that is going to be giving you that substantialness, that money to give you that confidence to get you on your feet and grounded so you can date somebody. So I don't think that a man should pay for everything, only depends on that. So first date, yes, but after, when you get into relationships, women pay differently in nurturing ways, right? So like we're gonna go take a trip to Hawaii. I'm gonna rent an Airbnb. I'm gonna get you groceries for your house. That's how me and my partner started. My partner paid for everything in the beginning, all the dinners, everything. I never even offered. I was just like, it was just kind of expected. It's just my nationality too, but. Like I went to the grocery store. When I went to the grocery store, I got stuff for him. Like this is only the first month of us dating I would be doing this. We would plan vacations. I would take him. I told him I wanted him to try this restaurant. I would pay for that restaurant when it was my idea. I would get us concert tickets. I would do this. So we pay in more nurturing ways as well. And I think men pay in more immediate ways.
How do you suggest going about long distance dating and keeping it chill?
Keeping it chill. Long distance dating. But why keep it chill? So, and why are we long distance dating? Like, what is the reason? You know what I mean? Like, keep it chill, long distance dating. It's either long distance, we're working on a relationship, or long distance, I just seeking your attention. So if you're just keeping it chill to seek attention, then just whatever, just do whatever you want. But if you're long distance in a relationship, but you're trying to keep it chill, like, why are you trying to keep it chill? Like, that's just a weird question because I think also too, like, long distance relationships are more an investment. Like FaceTime, phone calls, planning, stuff like that.
What do you do with a girl that comes to your house, drinks wine, have dinner, make up with you, but won't have sex? Make out with you, I think.
Oh, but won't have sex. I think that's a sign that she likes you. She's holding off for you. Typically when women hold off, it's because they like you, because they don't want to get their emotions involved in sex. And I think that's kind of a good sign. And also too, that shows that she's comfortable. I mean, don't look at it as a bad sign. Like just because it's your end goal to have sex, I hope the end goal is something more. But you know, women hold off because they see that there's a potential for something to grow, and she probably wants a relationship because women sometimes when they sleep with guys, they get more emotionally attached. So it's up to her. But also too, I would look at this as a great thing because she's comfortable with you to just be at your house and have dinner and wine. So I would just, you know, continue to do what you're doing, and one day it'll happen.
Mm-hmm. How do I win back my wife after emotionally cheating?
Time, trust, counseling, and patience.
Nice. If a girl's not showing any signs of interest, then how do I move on from that sad feeling?
I think it's time. Like everybody's gone through that. I mean, I've even gone through that where a guy wasn't interested in me after a while, and I had to kind of like detach from that. Just be around people that support you, be around people that bring you up, family, friends, do things that you love, maybe take a little trip and a vacation, get your mojo back, and let time heals all pain. Like, who says that? Time heals all pain. Jay-Z.
How do you date a woman with children?
Oh gosh, I actually talk about that in an interview series with women. And my number one tip, if you date a woman with children, is understand that you will never be her first priority in life, ever.
What do I do if a man stares at or flirts with my date, or if he spills a drink on her?
Spills a drink on her? Well, this is where I talk about EI. That's weird. So if a guy is flirting with an emotional intelligence, so a lot of women are drawn to a man that can hold his emotion and not get angry right away or react right away, right? So if he spills a drink on your woman, I mean, obviously you're going to get a little upset if it's purposely done, but if it's not intentionally done, I mean, mistakes happen, right? So I wouldn't really get angry at that. But if he's flirting with with your woman, take it as a compliment. I mean, at the end of the day, but also to see how she reacts. Is she flirting back to him with him? That's when we have a problem. You know what I mean? That's when you have to have the standards talk, the respect talk. Like, this is not cool. But also too, like, you can conversate with him if he's flirting with her and be like, yeah, I know, she's pretty damn hot, isn't she? Like, egg it on a little bit, and then that's it. And then let it go. Like, don't just be there with the guy, make friends with him and be buddy-buddy, but that's it.
How do you get over a woman that you know you deserved better than?
You have to figure out like who you are. Like, if someone asks that, you have to kind of figure out who you are, because you know that you deserve better. So one of two things are happening: is your timeline or your bucket of women is not full. So it shows me that you're probably inexperienced and you don't have a lot of women. So that's why you kind of have that, and you try to make something work with a woman that you know you don't deserve, is because you don't really have the choice of a lot of women out there. So I say I would invest in you getting better with women. And if that's not you, then the other thing is you've got confidence. You've got to work on confidence and understanding your self-worth and holding that with integrity no matter what, and stop comparing yourself to other people, because that is a big downer on confidence as well.
How do you tell a coworker you're not interested after you already did directly, but she's still chasing?
Wow. I would just tell her that you might go to HR if she doesn't stop.
How do you know when you're ready to date again after a 4-year relationship, even after any relationship?
Yeah, I think you know when you're ready to date again when you're completely over that person, or you're not attached to like a victim mentality of that person, right? Because sometimes when we experience breakups, we go through a victim mentality. I think that knowing that you're over that person is just knowing that you don't think about them constantly. You're kind of over the breakup. You've learned from the breakup. You've accepted and taken accountability of the breakup and learned from it and moved on and stopped and got out of that victim mentality, which takes time. And don't use that like, oh, she did this, so next girl's going to do that too. That means you're not ready when you're still there. It's just forgiveness too. And I think once you get to that place of forgiveness, then you know you can move on.
Do you have any idea how grateful people are for you and what you do?
Oh, thank you. That was a good one. I do. And I get emails all the time about this. And I appreciate you guys also for telling me that stuff. I'll never get sick of listening to it.
How do you create freedom from resentment and regret?
So I think a resentment is a choice, right? Like fear and anger is something that we bring into our own existence. And I also think resentment is a choice that we hold on to. And there's so much, you get so much freedom on letting go. And a lot of people are looking and they're searching for like the type of book, the right physician, the right coach that's going to let them go and be the special sauce of like the magic thing that will take away all the resentment and freedom. Yes, I do think coaching helps you articulate things better and understand better, but understand that you are the one that changes this, and it happens here in your mindset. You've got to choose to let go of resentment. So I would ask someone that I was coaching to do a couple activities. One of the activities would be journaling out the reasons why you can't let go of resentment. Like, what is it? What is the anger around that resentment? Because underneath anger is sadness. Underneath resentment is fear. Underneath fear is anger, and underneath anger is sadness. So what is bringing you the sadness? Like, why can't you let go of that person and resent them? Because guess what? If I was to ask that person, they're probably living their life and being happy and free. So now it's your turn to be free, because it takes so much more work to hold on to resentment than just letting it go. So if you've been holding on to resentment for all these years, then it's going to be easier to let it go. And it's just kind of switching that dialogue in your mind and basically making the decision to do it and doing some activities to kind of retrain your subconscious mind to look at this differently. All right, guys, so I'm so happy I was able to answer all of these questions for you. I know there were so many other ones that I didn't get to, but we will be doing this often. And I'm so happy to put together this video for you as well. And remember, you are always loved. See you soon.